The Great Wall is nothing compared to the wall of secrecy surrounding the military buildup in the People's Republic of China. While we rightfully worry about Iraq and Iran, the long-term danger to the security of the United States is posed by China. Yet our top universities, like most of our big corporations, are relentlessly trying to woo the Chinese in deals. U.S. academia uses research we've paid for as their bargaining chip. For our universities, China means tuition, and lab assistants to be treated like slaves with wages and hours to match. They're used to it back home. American academia will tell you attracting foreign grad students enriches our talent pool because they remain in the U.S. after school to help build our nation. China's official news agency begs to disagree. A survey by the People's Daily of Chinese students studying in the U.S. indicates 81% intend to return to the People's Republic after they receive a U.S. education. Scientific conferences may be one of the greatest threats to the security of the United States. American university researchers are invited to present research papers at international conferences, and they jump at every opportunity. Presenting research papers pads the resume. Being in the spotlight in front of other smart people is an ego trip. At the end of the day, in the bar of the resort hosting the conference, some of our professors spill their guts and their knowledge of our best technology to Chinese researchers who know how to flatter U.S. egos. They ask many questions, but give back little in return. John Lee is an enemy of the Chinese Communist dictatorship because of his spiritual beliefs. He's an activist among the Falun Gong community in the United States. Lee is a research assistant at a U.S. university. He told me Americans are naive about the leadership of the People's Republic of China.
The Chinese think Americans are their enemy, but now they're not capable to have a war with Americans, but they will prepare.
University of Michigan Aerospace Engineering professor Bill Kaufman believes his university and other top U.S. research schools are helping the communist Chinese prepare for a war one day with the United States. They are doing it, Kaufman says, by educating waves of Chinese students who come here to take advanced engineering courses, often with military applications.
There's a dead short to transfer information from Ann Arbor to the People's Republic of China. Everything that's needed for a modern industrial military state is leaving here and going there.
Professor Kaufman is describing what military analysts call Chinese asymmetric warfare, which includes blurring the line between commercial, academic, and military projects. They send representatives to conferences and symposia all over the world. They make connections and ask questions, lots and lots of questions. Chinese spying doesn't follow the traditional model of sending a professional agent to steal secrets. Ken Schiffer knows a lot about that. He's the former director of security at the Los Alamos Nuclear Weapons Lab and now a counterintelligence consultant.
The problem with the Chinese is they very often don't operate with an intelligence officer or intelligence service or the way a traditional model is planned. And an institute in China like Harbin Institute or the Institute of Applied Physics and Computational Mathematics or the Institute of Fluid Physics will receive from the government a tasking. We need to develop this particular item which will employ this technology. A delegation from that institute or scientists from that institute will make contact with individuals or institutes in the United States. They will identify someone in our institute, a scientist who has that technology, invite that individual back to China, and gradually, through a long process, recruit that individual into providing the technology that the government wants.
A recent report to Congress by the U.S. China Security and Economic Review Commission states flatly that Chinese espionage represents the #1 threat to U.S. technology. Chinese spying to steal our technology secrets, or exfiltration to use FBI jargon, is much easier when our taxpayer-funded research universities throw open their doors and databases to thousands of Chinese students and grad assistants.
They're relying on the enormous number of students, hundreds of thousands of students perhaps, and visitors, immigrants, scientists, engineers that are here in the U.S. And then on occasion, and I'm not saying that it's in every circumstance, but on occasion we know this for a fact, that those folks are exfiltrating information back to sister laboratories and or competing companies in their homeland.
Many of our universities have callously put their Chinese students in a precarious position. Precisely because the universities refuse to screen Chinese students and professors and evaluate what they want to study and why, it unfairly places a cloud of suspicion over all of them. John Lee confirms the academic spies of the communist regime are commingled with innocent Chinese grad students and visiting professors.
Some of them are just learn the pure science like physics or math or chemistry, biology, but some of them are specifically for certain technology.
Some of that technology has military applications.
Sure. Yeah.
There was a time when research powerhouses like the Bell Labs produced America's top discoveries and breakthroughs. But American public research universities, with their massive taxpayer subsidies, have undercut private research and development and run many commercial labs out of business. Our nation has paid a steep price because many universities have an attitude that national security is not their problem. They're fond of saying they don't work on classified projects, they just do basic research.
Advanced technology is complex. Think of it as a jigsaw puzzle. Our advanced weapon systems have secret components that might be called the centerpieces of that jigsaw puzzle. That's the classified stuff. But there's an awful lot of advanced research that goes around the secret parts to enable it to happen. It's unclassified. If the Chinese or another foreign power come here and we share all of that advanced, unclassified research in the name of academic freedom, their job of figuring out the secret parts of the puzzle is much easier.
At last count, there were over 65,000 students from Communist China enrolled at U.S. universities. Most of them are majoring in math, the hard sciences, and engineering, the stuff that used to put super in American superiority. Most U.S. universities have done nothing, zero, about students from Communist China and other countries who may be here to steal America's technology breakthroughs and secrets. American academia loudly proclaims academic freedom. Very well. As free citizens, perhaps we should demand that Washington withdraw our billions of dollars in taxpayer-funded research from academia and instead fund private research centers which see the importance of protecting America's edge in the global economy and protecting what the taxpayer has paid for. Think about it. It's our money. I'm Vince Wade. This is our country.